Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to our Let's Play of Medal of Honor. I'm the Ninja Stalker, and we shall get back into some gameplay. But first, I do have some things I'd like to go over and talk about. Normally, I do these things on Morrowind Elder Scrolls 3, but I figured we go ahead and do it here. Why not? Now, the first thing we go on about, let's see over here, let me grab the remote and just move it around so okay. Alright, so one thing to go over, which is a pretty good thing, it's the amazement thing about me, is where I get views on my channel. So, we got the update now. Apparently, people from many different countries, I get more views now, but the way the standings are going right now, UK is still at the top with 719 minutes of watch time with 29 views this time, whereas last time I think it was 28 views, so it only went up by one. It's whatever. Still, they're spending the most time watching videos, so that's a very admirable thing right there. I like that. They'll actually spend... The UK people spend more time watching your stuff, giving you a chance to see if you have good videos. Whereas the US, I have 189 views, and that number actually changed from the last. So I think the YouTube analyticals or whatever is kind of off or something, because it says here on the last time I scored it on paper, 246 views. Whereas over here on the updated one for today, it says 189 views. So somehow I lost views. I think the analyticals are messed up. The watch time for the US is now 3:43. France is coming in at third with 58 minutes of watch time and 8 views. Germany is after France with 53 minutes of watch time with 12 views. So there's more views out of Germany, but less time watching. Sweden is coming in at, what's that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th with 32 minutes of watch time and 15 views. Then you got Russia at 22, 23. Canada is at 18 and 7. And again, when I say the numbers now, the first number will be watch time. The second number is the views. So Canada's at 18-7. What is this? Bosnia and I forgot what it stood for. It's the one that has Bosnia and the other name with it. Has 17 on 2. Slovakia is 16 on 3. Australia has been moving down, 12 on 8. Which last time I think Australia came in at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Came in 5th. Now Australia's not there. Last time I had it written down that Australia was 37-14. Australia this time is 12 and 8. So again, I do believe the analyticals are off on YouTube, but that's the standings that are currently for today. Macedonia is 11-1. Japan is 8-5. Japan moved up since the last time. Philippines is at 4-5. Spain is at 4-5, and I think Spain actually moved up because they were next to Argentina and Portugal, I think, or Brazil. I can't remember, but Spain moved up. Then you got Malaysia at 3-5, Ukraine at 2-2, New Zealand at 2-1, Finland at 2-2, Argentina 1-1, Brazil 1-5, Ireland 1-2. Poland 1-4, Denmark 1-4. Everyone else from Brunei, Portugal, Czech Republic, Romania, Israel, China, Kazakhstan, Georgia, Belarus all have zeros for watch time, but I have ones for all of those guys. So there is that. Shit, I didn't want to go there. Now the other thing I really want to talk about was I mentioned before. Because I noticed that I had some Japanese viewers, and I was like, oh yeah, I know a little thing or two about Japan. I took Japanese history and all. I really did, and I have some paperwork here that I actually did in my university classes that we were learning about the history of Japan. And the history of Japan is Japan since 1550. And really the time frames that we were going on was from 1550 all the way up to about 1945, or actually till modern times. So it was 1550 to about modern times. And the first segment that we went over for the first part of the course, because you got the first segment, then you got like a mid-semester, and then you got the final part of the semester, so it's like split in threes and stuff. We had 1600, 1853, 1868, and 1945. And at 1600, lots of civil wars and limitations on outside world, which meant isolation for Japan. 1853, Commodore Perry forces Japan to open up. Collapse of the Tokugawa was at that time frame as well. Then you had at son of a bitch. Let me see. Hold up. We'll just click there. You also have 1868, the Meiji Restoration, new leaders, learn to keep Japan strong with imperialism, and then at 1945, we know what happens there. This war, 1941 against Western powers, fall in 1945, and the remake of Japan for pacifism or pacification. And then the one highlights that we were writing about was for Japan to survive, they had to adapt to Western identity. However, it would require abandoning much of Japanese identity. Now, the thing is, from 1500s all the way to now especially, I think Japan did an amazing job adopting some Western identity while maintaining who they are. And I think I wrote a paper on that as well for my class, and the teacher actually liked it. That's how I passed that class pretty damn well. Not just on that paper, I passed the class overall, but based on what we were studying in class, I've written in the paper that Japan has found a way to take some of the Western identity, mix it into their own thing, and still keep the old traditional ways that they have over in Japan. Because I think one of the things that we were talking about at the end of the course was Japan still has a thing where not very many Japanese women are taking up jobs that have something to do outside of like the home life. However, as of recently, there are some actually doing some changes to that, and then people are accepting Japanese women to take up certain jobs that are different from actual home economic stuff. As a matter of fact, I think, for example, there might be more than one Japanese women in the Japanese diet, for their Congress and stuff like that. I do believe they're actually getting more into that. Let me see, what else was there? Another thing that we learned about was Japanese names. The first name is actually the family surname. So if somebody was named Abe Shintaro, it'll be Mr. Abe instead of Mr. Shintaro. And again, I know I'm probably butchering these names. If you're Japanese, my apologies on that. But you kind of get what I'm probably pointing out, and you could probably clarify if you were to comment, if you wanted to. Like, oh yeah, he knows what he's talking about. He probably sounds like shit saying these names, but he does have a point. He does make something out there, so it's good to see that there's some Americans out there who know a thing or two. And I do try, believe me, I do try. Another thing, let me see what else. I believe the current emperor of Japan his name is Akihito. And I think the pronunciations that you're supposed to go by is supposed to be Akihito. And then like for Tokyo, as most Americans would say, it's supposed to actually be pronounced as Tokyo. You're supposed to drag out the O, so it's like Tokyo instead of just Tokyo. But then again, I am American. There are a bunch of Americans who probably butcher that. Let's see. Yeah, see, I did a bunch of other classes. There was Revolution Empire History 530 for the U.S. Let's see, what else was there? Leadership Studies, Principles of Biology. Here's another history of Japan right here. What do we have? What did I write down? Tenno, Japan from prehistory to 1550, origins, let's see, what do we have? People have long been living in Japan islands since 7500, 300 BCE. The Jonan, chord pattern pottery, okay. You got the Yayo. Okay, let me see. It's a tomb. Japan did some borrowing with China, but Japan has always found a way to keep to their own and keep their own traditions and all that. So that's something to rival right there, because even to this day, I think Japan's one of those countries that it's one of, and that's not the only, but it's one of many countries that still has that tradition about them and that heritage and all that, which is pretty damn good. Political authority in Japan. Emperors from Yamamoto ruled with politics and religion. Gradually through time, that power limit to the figurehead. So there was a power limit at some point. Noble families had power. Fujiwara family would manipulate emperors at times. Rise of the warriors on the 12th century. Real power shifted to the warrior. You have the bushi, right? A bushi for warrior. Another term is samurai, one who serves working as local enforcers. Yeah, so there's like a bunch of other stuff. So I did write down a bunch of things. Let's see. The Kamakura Bakafu, 1185 to 1333. Warrior ruling began establishment. Yeah, I did a lot of stuff, a lot of writing in here. I know there was one that had a lot of good info. Unification, Sengoku, Warring States. 1550. Okay, so there was the Sengoku, the Warring States, country at war. Long period of war in Japan. Warlords pitted against each other to gain hegemony. Yeah, there we go. Then you got the Onin War of 1467 to 1477, before 1550, of course. Fought in the streets of Kyoto. I do believe Kyoto was the original capital. What are some names that I remember here? Ah, there we go. There was a Oda Nobunaga. Yeah, that was one guy right there. 1533 to 1582. Minor daimyo from the central Honshu. Great military commander. Crushed many rival daimyos. Briefly dominates shogun and emperor. Attacks Buddhists. Killed in 1582 by one of his own followers. And then I think it went on to Nobunaga's death. Brought civil war among generals for control. Yeah, because once the big leader goes, everyone's going to fight for control and power. So, yeah. Hideyoshi was the next one after Nobunaga. Was Hideyoshi. 1536 to 1598. Killed Nobunaga's murderer, and then he ended up being in charge. Yeah, so there's just a little bit of information. If you like some more, just like say, hey, more info on Japan, why not? Cool, and this, that, and like, hey, you said you had a Revolution Empire class on the U.S. Why don't you give a little information on that? That class was interesting. We were talking about stuff like cholera in the U.S. from because it came from Europe and all that. Well, actually, it really came from like certain type of diseases and uncleanliness, and it did happen in in Europe, and then the U.S. try to close off before it can get here. But I mean, there is no closing off, especially in New York. No. Yeah, there's a bunch of info, so I'd be happy to throw out some information. I just got to look through my books, which I have right here. Just my notebooks that I wrote information down. I actually do have books, actual literature books too, but I won't go through reading through with those. I'll just give off the information that I wrote down over here. So I guess if you want more information on Japan and all that, I can go ahead and give that. Just ask to the Japanese viewers, should you guys understand me. I'm not trying to be a douche like that, you know. I'm just saying. If you like more info, like, yeah, you know, you got something there in this, go ahead and say some more. I'll go ahead and do that. Let's go to the war records. Load. Okay, next mission.
Congratulations on your first mission.
Destroy my railgun.
A rather dramatic introduction to life in the OSS. I have every confidence you're going to make me look like a genius for recruiting you. Your new assignment is a dangerous one. We're sending you back into enemy territory, but this time you're going undercover as a Wehrmacht Captain. Now, the Germans have carried over some bad habits from the last World War. One is a love for grossly oversized pieces of artillery. You may have heard of the railguns Dora and Gustav. Well, meet their new sister, Greta. It became fully operational last week. This is the only clear photo we've been able to get because they keep hiding the damn thing. They've spent the last 7 days shooting it at the channel. This was a fuel tender, and this was a hospital ship. Greta's actually smaller than the Dora and the Gustav, but it's capable of firing a more powerful shell, and its reduced size gives it a high degree of mobility, so they're always able to move it before our bombers can get there. That's why we're sending you in to do it by hand. Your transport leaves at 1900 hours. Knock her out of commission, Lieutenant. Good luck.
Now see, that just proves sometimes having the biggest thing isn't exactly going to get the job done. Greta is smaller than Dora and whatever the other one was called, and she still manages to do much more damage than the others. And because of high mobility and all that, it just goes to show sometimes bigger is not better. Sneak into the rail station. 15th June 1944. Welcome back, Lieutenant Patterson. This next mission is going to be a new kind of challenge. The OSS is sending you back into France, but this time you'll be traveling in disguise. Going undercover is one of the most dangerous missions that an agent can embark on. For this assignment, you'll be wearing a stolen captain's uniform. Here are some key essentials to know about while operating in disguise. Always show your papers when asked. Cycle to the passport icon in your arsenal and press the shoot button. Don't walk around with a weapon drawn, as it will immediately arouse suspicion. To upgrade to a higher security level, you may be forced to eliminate an officer in order to steal his papers. Now, a couple things there. Don't walk around with a weapon drawn. The enemy can do it. You cannot. I don't know why if you're in disguise, especially if you're going to try and look like you're to fit in, like, oh, I'm trying to locate the bad guy. Yeah, where's he at? And secretly it's me. Yeah, where's he at? And then the last part, upgrade to a higher security clearance, eliminate an officer. That officer needs to be a higher rank than you. If it's the same rank or below, you're not going to get the security papers that you need. Okay, so in this mission, you'll need to upgrade several times. Be sure to use your silenced pistol when neutralizing a German officer, but take care that no one sees you doing it. One of the other objectives in this level is to switch the tracks, so Greta's support train will go off in the wrong direction. Press the action button to flip the lever. Hint, a porter friend told me there's a crawl vent that leads into the station's office. So, on to victory. Okay, so there's that. And we're back, alright.
May I see your papers, please? You don't have the proper identification.
Alright, so He's not an officer, and he will not shoot at us because we're an officer, and he believes us to be an officer. Had he been a higher-ranking officer than us, he would shoot us. Because apparently the officers all know each other. Now, I say that just about all the officers will try and shoot at you, but there is an exception. I do believe there's at least one, maybe two officers who will not shoot at you if you show them passports. But I don't believe there are any in this level, so you have nothing to worry about there. Just go ahead and just get rid of them. The door is locked. Okay, so we go up here. We look around. Okay, there's this German officer right here.
What unit are you from?
You do this.
Sorry, sir. Have a good night.
Okay, so that there was an officer who was not going to shoot. I thought he was. He was going to say, sorry, sir, have a good night. He probably would have continued walking this way. He would have dropped that book right there, you see. These are what we need to move on. Team, ISIS, blah. Oh, man, I didn't even read that in time. Okay, so we switched the tracks. Now, you see, we're going through these, right? Over here, you can do the same thing to this ladder. Yeah, see, right there. You clip through the ladder if you hit it at the right angle. Otherwise, you'll just go up at it. I believe Skeleton Crusader was talking about that in one of his Let's Plays. Here's proof that it can be done. So if anyone wants to go and talk to Skeleton Crusader for his viewing or for his Let's Play, and he was talking about, oh yeah, you can go through the ladder and this, that. Here's proof on my Let's Play. I know what he was talking about. I've done it many times. You can do it here, and I've done it, so he wasn't lying. Okay, so we got some pistol rounds. We got these. I don't think there's anything on these. This door's locked. Alright, so there's only one way to get out.
May I see your papers, please? My mistake, sir.
Okay, so now we can get on through. And he'll just go on patrolling or whatever. Damn, that hurt. The interesting thing, these SMG rounds, these SMGs that you'll see on the floor, they convert to pistol rounds. I could only assume the same rounds for the SMG, for the MP40, is the same rounds that you can use for this particular pistol right here. So you won't be getting SMGs. I think you might actually get SMGs later on. I know you can get a different weapon later on, but okay, so you can't go that way. Can't go that way. We got this guy down here. How you doing?
Are you new here, sir?
Right here.
I am sorry, sir, but I can't let you in.
Okay, so he won't let us in. Fucking die. Ah, damn it all. Okay. I died. That sucks. So now I gotta do everything all over again.
What unit are you from?
Sir, I must call for my superiors.
Drop your weapon!
was the first time that happened. Now, if you notice the uniform, you can kind of see the color of the uniform on the wrist right there, right? So when you switch to the passport and you pull this out, it's black. When you go to the pistol, you go back to your normal OSS uniform. So that's a thing. As for what just happened, it's because I went over there. I tried to take a little shortcut and I fell. As I fell, the guy he was chasing us because he was asking us like, hey, what are your papers, and this, that, and I wasn't near him to actually tell him. And then he chased us down. He was like, okay, you're being suspicious.
My mistake, sir.
We got him. Go and do this. There's this guy. Fucker is still alive. There we go. Okay, I don't know where they came from. One of these doors, I don't know. Okay, so this door is now open.
Sorry, sir. Have a good night.
Okay, there's a health kit right there. He's a bit suspicious. Not no more. Okay, so there's that way. We can go over here. There's this. We got that. Okay. So there was a way to go over there. Not all objectives met. Yes. Weren't we supposed to destroy something? Let's see. Switch tracks. Oh yeah, I forgot to switch the tracks. I gotta go way back. Door apparently opens and closes. Locked. And there you have it. Mission complete. Triumph. Keep it up, soldier. That should be 3 stars. Yes, there we are. So, the Office of Strategic Services, performance evaluation, sneak into the rail station. Excellent overall rating, 3 stars, 19 shots fired, 17 hit, 89%, silenced pistol, 0 hits taken this time around, but we did die. Number of objectives destroyed, 1. Number of objects destroyed, 1, which was that great. Number of enemies killed is 10, so there were 10 total enemies here. Discount Barber, that's because we got more headshots than anything else. Okay, we'll go ahead and save. There we are. Turn to the war room, please. Let's see. And we should save again since we're here. Why? Because I'm paranoid like that. %16 complete with the game, ladies and gentlemen. Alright, so there's that. I'll go ahead and stop the video here. I'm going to go back and forth with Medal of Honor and Resident Evil Outbreak File 2. What I'm probably going to do is the missions that I got to replay on lower difficulties for Resident Evil Outbreak File 2, I won't show, but the difficulties that are higher on the same missions, so for example, we completed Wild Things on normal difficulty. I won't show Wild Things again unless we're going to go on the same difficulty or a higher difficulty if it's going to be with a different character and or the same character that we've done before. And it depends. So it'll be like if it's George again, it's going to have to be on very hard difficulty or hard difficulty that I play on Wild Things again with George. Because the other difficulties that I need to go pick up items with are on easy or hard and very hard, right? So you won't see the easy playthroughs. You'll see just normal, hard, and very hard. However, if I pick a new character, like if I go to Kevin, you will see me play normal again. You'll see me play hard and very hard, but you won't see easy because easy is just super easy as shit. So there is that. Other than that, this game, we're just going to continue on through. Let me see something. As a matter of fact, we completed the last game. Secret codes. Did we not get a secret code? Yes, we did. In what's it? Nifty multiplayer power-ups. So if you were to go on multiplayer mode with this game, you can get multiplayer power-ups. That's all it is. And there's these many other secrets that you get, and you only get those if you get the highest ratings for each mission. So there you have it. And then, of course, passwords. You can type passwords into this Enigma machine. And it'll pop a code. And the only way you can get those codes is if you go to the EA website or if you look online for something. So there is that. Thanks for watching, ladies and gentlemen. We did happen to die. I'm really bummed out about that, but we did manage to beat the level, then some, by not getting shot once. So there is that. I hope you guys enjoyed. Please take care and have yourselves a good night.